Meet the Sobbing Uncontrollably crew. Chuck, Darren,
and Army Dave.
We have an uncontrollable urge to get Saabs up and running and back on the road. And when we aren't working on Saabs, we're scouring the junkyard to see what treasures we can repair next. We are sobbing uncontrollably, restoring automotive legends.
Coming in hot. Whoa, yeah. We just cleared that part. Well, now we didn't. Don't move him. It's chilly out. The truck's warm.
Oh, here it is.
The car's on the trailer.
There you go.
We're out of here. Headed home. So dark 30. What do we got? About 4 hours plus a fuel and a food stop. And then we'll be home to drop off the car. Keep going. No! Today, we're gonna play with Saabs, but first we gotta get started cleaning up our parts bin. If we get organized, we might be able to make room for more.
The funny thing is,
Oh, who's that?
Oh, keep waking up. Yeah, where do you want it? Like in front of the others, I guess. This is the mule shed. I think we're gonna find our wheels and tires out of here.
Oh, hold it, come here, bud. There's soft soap in here. So we have 2 spare engines and then a whole bunch of seats and interior panels. And there's some Saab radiators in the corner. And then there's lots more we'll get to here in just a minute. So what we're doing now is we're gonna transfer the tires that are in the lean-to, the mounted new tires, and then the new tires that aren't mounted yet. We're just gonna put them in here for now to keep them out of the weather and out of our way, basically. So we can put more parts in the Saab part thing. We got one more.
Make a great end table if it was
and then there's the last.
unusable. If you didn't know, a logging truck, well, I call it the logging truck. It's an old wagon that rolled in the forest. A logger used it to get back and forth to work. Dave cut the top off and is going to stretch it and make it 6-wheel and turn it into a truck. So we have the wheels and tires for it. Right over here. Set of Incas in there. That goes on my 99 turbo.
You want to grab a
Got
couple?
this. I got this.
Here, Liam. You
This
want one of those?
is going on a Saab.
Yes.
Well, that does it for the tires. Now we'll have room to put stuff. Or more room. I don't know. It's pretty packed. And I'm not talking about the mule shed. It's the Saab graveyard for fenders,
Yes, it is.
grills, doors, and even 2 9.5 tops.
So we got fenders, doors, body parts, and now we have a sonnet nose to add to the body parts collection. Yes.
The plan for the Saab is to get one running, find out how the engines are doing, so maybe whole blue.
So the first battle of action is pull the plugs, and we spray some penetrating oil in the bores, and then I already tested it before we drug it home. The motor does turn over, so we'll slap in a battery, crank it over, make sure it spins, and then go from there. And then if it has compression and spark, it'll start. So Chuck, here, this is the special American Swedish plug removing tool right here, okay? See, this is how we make real tools in America.
Is it millimeter?
No.
Is it metric?
No.
It's
So think about it. We whooped the Germans, unconditionally surrendered the Japs, and bankrupted the Soviets in inches, pound, and feet. Thank you.
I'm missing my 10, and I need it. And you're gonna need this to scoot away so you can get the fork hook.
Well, we need the 10 to get this off. No, it'll come out, Chuck.
All right.
Clearly.
All right.
Usually.
It's been done before.
Yes.
Somebody upgraded this nut. Went from a 10 to an 11.
Ooh. Or it's SAE.
They're tired of looking for their 10, so they switched to 11.
Oh, we could have just done that. Guess it wasn't attached here
nice.
after all.
I didn't realize this car had that much rust in it. She's a little bit of a rust buddy.
Well, it is from the Great Salt Lake area.
Wow, that would be why.
I don't know. It's just surface rust. It's not.
No, that's more than surface rust, Dave.
That's
Bubbly
surface
fruit.
rust in some parts
That was
of
surface
town.
rust on the other side of the car. It's now coming out
You're
this
forgetting
side.
how much rust that car had that I had to fix.
Yeah.
The floors in this car are better.
Oh yeah.
But this has spots like this.
Yeah. So there's just different kinds of rust.
Different kinds of surface rust.
That doesn't bother me because it's not structural.
Oh, yeah. Nothing like Chad's.
when the
like
motor
Chad's Sunday,
is gonna
or
fall out.
Shadow. Like that turbo
Oh yeah.
Shelby that Chad had.
When I dumped the clutch, the motor actually twisted inside the thing because it was so rusted.
Yep.
Are we clear?
Almost gotta be smarter than.
I was worried about this. This one is not good. This had a lot of rust on
All
the.
right. Well,
That one
give it
said
a try.
30,
35.
35. Okay.
34.5.
This one had a lot of rust on the spark plug. A lot.
it's clean.
Emery. Oh, not that clean.
Yeah,
That's our
see the
problem.
corrosion. So just go get. I'll go grab a little piece of sand. Every cloth. Not bad.
This is the bad part. That opens and closes is right there. And it's got goo right there. And if I arc it around a bit with things connected, we'll get some serious light show.
Keep going.
No!
No, it's just burning that gas.
Yeah, actually, I was gonna say you don't even have to. It's burning off all the gas.
Yeah, it'll stop. That's just warming up the car for us.
Yeah. The fuel is to blame for the fire. Yes, I am to blame for the fire. It goes to show safety never takes a holiday. And generally speaking, your friends won't tell you you're screwing up until you after.
No offense to the Swedish engineers, but the cooling hose arrangement of the stock Saab system is really overcomplicated.
Yep.
It's external.
No, the external is normal. The way they routed it is not
Overcomplicated.
good.
Now we have clearance.
Perfect.
Can you get to your nuts?
Yes.
These nuts?
These nuts.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, now it's
dripping
okay.
down the throat.
All right.
Contact.
Not yet. So now you need more gas?
I'm impressed.
So it works.
Disconnect.
Yeah, go ahead and disconnect. All right, that's all we needed to do.
No proof.
It will live.
Sweet.
And you notice how it cleared up?
Yes, it did.
So it was backfiring because one of the valves wasn't seating, probably on. Did we ever figure out the firing order?
This one.
Because remember, it's like it's 1,
1, 3, 2, 4.
No, it's not like that should be 1. This should be 2. This should be 3. This should.
Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Right. Yeah. I don't know why the Swedes did it differently, but they did.
Ford. It's still a Ford motor.
But Euro Ford. Yeah, like Ford.
Cool.
It's German. The Germans did it differently. All right, well, cool, guys.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching today. What we did was we cleared up some space for Saabs and parts. We got Old Blue to fire up, and I think that was a successful day. We know the engine's got potential. It cleared itself, and now we can move on with the project.
Okay, try.
How would I damage anything like that?
Today, we've got some fun stuff coming up here. We're gonna be working on Old Blue here, and we've got brake work to do. So we gotta get her flying up in the air. We've gotta go through the wheel cylinders, the rotors, the drums, brake hoses, brake lines. And then in the engine compartment, we're gonna be working on the clutch master cylinder, the clutch slave cylinder. We've got an alternator to work on, and we got a water pump to work on. So we've got quite a long deal here, and hopefully get to remove the radiator also while we're doing that. So we'll be in the engine compartment, we'll be underneath, and we gotta get this thing up in the air because as you can see, it sits fairly low to the ground. And there's no room for big guys like us to crawl under there. So it's time to fly a Saab.
Did you hear that? Big guys like us. Woohoo! I'm a big guy now.
4. All right, coming down.
Come down. What are you seeing here? Yeah, we're good. It's sliding. So basically, if you want to jack your car up in the back, buy a tongue.
All right, readjust, guys. We'll do one more bite and we should have it.
Dun, dun,
Dave, do you want the DeWalt with the 19 to get the wheels
so
off?
we want to take the wheels off next. Oh, Chuck, it's the doorknob is stuck.
Pine sap. I'll get some squirt stuffs.
All right, next we take the hood off. It's not attached, so. And you know, these old Saab cars are so cool because you can take the hood off, one guy. So we're gonna take the alternator off because it's frozen, and the water pump, pull the radiator, and then clutch and brake master cylinder, and then the clutch slave cylinder, and then all the stuff underneath. So what I'm doing is this has got the rosebud on it, which is great for heating up big things, but we just want to heat up nuts and bolts, small things. So we are switching to the smaller tip, the torch tip. So this piece of angle, I believe, was put on there for the tow bar. So the first order of business is to remove that.
Oh, I forgot to bring you the squirt.
We're gonna heat them up.
All right.
But first, I'm gonna torch that bumper off.
Well, I like the push bar.
All right, that should do it. I have to beat it with a hammer, I think. So what we're doing here is just heating up these screws. So hopefully they'll come out easier. The metal expands and then contracts and breaks free, maybe. That's the theory at least. That one's already off. So I'm heating up the nut on the back of the alternator adjuster.
Hey, how do you feel about me using Croil, the oil that creeps?
Why not? Not a sponsor, but that was a free can, so let's use it.
Sure.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Aaron, let's squirt you
Easy
down.
peasy, Chuck. Check it out.
Oil, the oil that creeps.
We need like a soup can for these small screws. Just beat it there. I didn't look, is there a tab? Careful, it's hot.
Hot.
So we need to take those side nuts off.
Yeah, you're not getting it off that way.
All right.
I'll get you a can.
So I'm cutting the head off of this one. It's got this fabric piece that holds the radiator on, the upper part. And if I heat up that nut with the torch, it'll probably toast that fabric. And we're probably going to replace it anyway, but
Yeah, Joanne.
why have a bunch of smoke when we don't need it? Here is part of the latch mechanism.
That explains
Got
a few
unbolted.
things.
And do we have the little rubber? Nope.
Yeah, we'll just manufacture those.
Audience, stay tuned. This is gonna get better. I can feel it.
So he's just going to cut this off right in the center because we're not saving that anyway. So. Perfect. You know, and the great thing about working on a Saab 95 is whenever you drop a tool, you don't have to pick it up off the ground.
You may never see it till
Yeah,
the
you may
engine
never
and
find it till
transmission
you
are
pull the
gone,
engine or
but
something,
that's
you
all
know.
right. Look at that little baby radiator.
All right. So that is flat blade.
Flat blade, Chuck.
Flat blade,
I'm gonna spray it with some Croil.
royal.
Croil it. Yeah, I think we just flush this out, test it for leaks, and we call it
Oh, it's gonna leak.
good. What?
It's from 1968.
Yeah, but you never know.
The last
Oh,
time.
nope. There's antifreeze, guys. Watch the pan for me. It should go right out this hole. See where the screwdriver is?
I'm bringing it close.
Bring it in, okay. So when this finally glugs, might have to grab the second one. Guys, I think the radiator's good. There's no mud coming out.
That actually looks really good, Dave. Mine had a lot more gunk, and mine's pretty
Oh,
good.
and it's the cool early style. High speed, go faster. Whoops.
We have to. Oh.
There's no fixing that.
Yeah, there is.
Look at this. You ain't doing nothing to that.
Oh, it's bent too.
Yeah.
All right, time to start cracking on that combo.
Yeah, the nut's already on the ground.
I think you got it.
Karen, that might be warm. Oh. Well, this isn't gonna freeze. This is called nut lubrication. That's what this is. All right, that can go in the alternator stack. All right, so now that's a 12,
So
and I need a 12 socket, please.
pretty much it doesn't spin, and it's never gonna.
So what I'm gonna do is heat up the nut for the brake line so it'll come off without snapping or twisting the brake line, hopefully. Now we're gonna get a little flame because of the oil, but hey, that just warms stuff up, right? All right, let's see if that does it. Oh yeah, we're in business. It is free.
Woo!
That shoe is seen better days.
Shorn. Oh, that spring sounded lovely.
Hey, fellas. Oh, I was going to warn you to remove the bearing first before you. That way you didn't damage it, but that's okay.
Oh, it was damaged. Hey, how would I damage anything like that?
I
See what I have to put up with? I gotta come after these guys and clean up their mess.
Whoa! You put up with. It's a joy for you.
A joy. Okay.
Back in 1993, 94, someone put new brakes on this vehicle. And when they did that, they greased the bearing and they put new wheel seals on because these are the greasiest, cleanest that we've seen on a car that we picked up. but then it sat. So it's just baked.
All right, so good job, Boohoo Brothers. We got our list here. We removed the water pump, the alternator, the radiator, the clutch slave, the clutch master, the brake master, the rear wheel hubs, and the brake hoses, and the parking brake cables. So we got everything done on the list, so good job. But the next step is on the bench, we'll take apart the master and the clutch
Slave
master and the slave
Mm-hmm.
and see if we can even rebuild those. Thankfully, we have a whole bunch of extra parts. We could use the old stuff that we have if we need it.
And then there's a whole bunch of cans of parts that are gonna go to the grinding wheel with me and get cleaned.
Yes.
I'm the king of the
master
grinding
wire
wheel,
wheel
and
here.
so I will make a whole bunch
Well,
of
I
those
think we'll
parts
probably
up.
steam clean the engine off while it's easy to get to. Old Blue is a little bit closer to being back on the road.
A little bit, that much closer.
So next time we'll be reassembling.
You got some good smoke going. It's like the 60s are happening all over again. Check this out.
Can we get to the back side of these, or is it covered with upholstery?
You're catching the car on fire.
Well, then blow it out.
Hey everybody, today on Sobbing Uncontrollably, we're working on Old Blue. We got a nice day out and brakes is the order of the day. We're gonna remove the old brake lines in the back and replace what we can. We think we have everything we need. So that being said, our brake system is gonna move forward. After these repairs on the brakes, we need to get to the wheel bearings and make sure this blue car rolls. Then we can move towards all the pieces on putting the engine back together. When we get the engine back together, I really question that radiator. Dave seems to think it'll be fine. We'll see.
Release,
Release,
pull,
full,
release.
release, sting.
It's actually working. The little sheath cap here is stuck. So maybe if I heat this up, we'll get it free.
So Dave's saying this clasp that holds the the cable tight to give the spring a place to reference. It doesn't it moves with the cable, so it's stuck and seized onto the inside cable, and he's gonna attempt to free this from the cable so that it properly moves. If that is successful, he'll reseal it. That little rubbery plastic bit. I know it'll work. How long will it work? And does he use Croyle or WD-40? So I'm doing it this way because then I don't have to undo any twists in the line behind me. It's my old cable days. Dave put a little bit of heat and it let go, and now we'll grease up that parking brake cable. You got some good smoke going. It's like the 60s are happening all over again. Check this out. Hold it.
Can we get to the back side of these, or is it covered with upholstery?
You're catching the car on fire.
Well, then blow it out, fellas. You got air, right?
Yeah.
Upholstery?
I'm making, not yet.
So what I'm gonna do, Holden, is I'm gonna warm that guy up so it'll come loose. And then I'm gonna heat this up, this bracket. Okay, then I'm gonna heat this up. So hopefully this is just a stud with a bolt. I can get that off. And then we'll get the brake line out.
I remember those being
The brake hose from the top. So time to play with some more fire. And you gotta watch it too, because sometimes these fittings are brass and it just melts away, and then you're like, okay, I guess I'm not saving that. But you can't tell sometimes when they're all dirty. I just remember from last time, this stuff is steel. These brake lines are not corroded, and so we'll blow them out, but we'll try to reuse these, and we just replace the hoses with the new ones. Do you have one of those removed hoses for me to look at?
Oh, you know I do. Here's two to choose from.
Oh, the actual rubber hose that you just disconnected. So these, we'll take these into the shop because we need to get this off, and we'll clean and paint these. So we need both of these, and I'm gonna wire wheel these off and we'll paint them.
Okay.
And then that's the nuts. We need all that hardware.
Yep.
Okay, but I just need one of the
You want the
hoses
hose,
that
it's
fell
all.
off.
Yep, I'm gonna get it. We've got a few of these, which means we've got everything we need accounted for to put the rear brakes back together. And technically the front brakes as well. Let's go see how Dave's paint job's coming along. Have you painted anything yet?
No, I'm just cleaning stuff.
Do you need anything painted?
Yeah.
Where's your stuff?
Up here. So it's about here where the rubber was. Just paint the rubber. So what we're doing now is we're just tightening up the brake line. I'm just gonna leave it snug because we may have to rotate this up or down to go on the wheel cylinders on the back end plate. All right, guys, so let's go load some back end plates. That sounds like fun. That's always that's kind of like you show discipline and then that's your reward.
Sure.
Well, I'm under here. Holy cow. Okay. And that's supposed to go in there. Kind of like that.
I'd hate to be in the way of Dave's two hands when he's trying to pull something apart.
So that wiggles in. She goes right to there.
Oh yeah. Did they send us a left and a right? No. So that means it's definitely not going to work that way.
So there's a right and left.
Yeah, they're both the same.
Well, maybe there isn't. Mm-hmm. Maybe let's look at the other backing. It doesn't matter. It just goes on the same way. So we got left and right.
We're just going to have to drill another hole.
No, we have more of those. Remember, we got a whole bunch.
Yep, I looked at all six
of
of them,
them.
and they're all oriented the same. Not uncommon.
Oh,
There's a left and a
I
right.
didn't know that they're
don't-
cheesing out.
yeah,
on us,
they're totally cheesing
okay,
out.
Well, I don't appreciate the Swedes doing these on the inside because they make it really hard to hook. So I'm going this way. Okay.
Today we were able to finish the brake lines in the back of Old Blue, the 95 wagon, and what we found was that blowing the air brake lines yielded a bunch of garbage, so that's cleared out. We were able to put together one loaded rear brake kit for the back. We've got one more to do. It took a while. We didn't get massive progress, but now we know where the parts go.
Clean parts and paint them,
And we
that
did.
always takes time.
Yes. We like to thank the Saab Club of Sweden for a bunch of these parts.
Oh yeah, thank you guys.
Yeah, we like that you guys make them and we can buy them.
May we present the Saab 95, your new dream car. Saab 95, the new station wagon. Combining elegant styling with practical design. How about this for room in it? 5 adults and an extra seat for 2 children. You need extra luggage space? Abracadabra. The new Saab 95 carries a 660-pound load and 2 adults besides. Your Saab 95 is also a first-class hotel room. Pleasant dreams. The Saab 95 with a 42-horsepower engine, 4-speed transmission gearbox, is fast and eager to accelerate. Low running costs and Saab leech-like road holding. The car of your dreams. The family car with aircraft quality. The Saab 95. Saab, the Swedish car with aircraft quality.
Hey everybody, welcome to Sobbing Uncontrollably. Behind us, Dave, Darren, and myself, is Old Blue. And I'm sure you've seen it, it's been running. Now, if you remember, last winter we picked Old Blue up out of Selah, Washington, which Selah means what, Dave?
I think it means we've arrived or we've made it.
Yeah, so we're not completely out of control, but we had a lot to do, and I think Dave pretty much was the main wrench on this car. Dave, tell us kind of the...
Well, you've seen that we started with the brakes. We had it up in the air. So the brakes are done. Since getting an original master cylinder that I could take apart to rebuild wasn't going to happen, I converted it to a Jeep, World War II Willys Jeep master cylinder. I made a bracket. That works. It's too big of a diameter on the plunger, but we have a solution we'll take care of. So once we got the brakes done, then I started in the back with the fuel tank. And we lucked out that the guy that had this before us had rebuilt the fuel tank, but the problem is they lined it with epoxy and it ended up plugging the pickup hole and the vent hole. So I was able to clear out the vent hole, but I tried running a wire through, it didn't work. So I just modified it with a pickup through here, through the sending unit assembly. So now we got a fuel tank that works, and then all the lights were corroded, so I had to take them apart, and I got a little wire wheel and a drill and clean out all the sockets to get all the rust out. I had to repair a few things. So we got the lights running, and then it was to the engine. So we just lucked out that in our parts stash, I had the correct alternator and it actually worked. So put the alternator on. This is the original radiator. I looked through the vanes and the tubes and they were clean. So we ran it, it doesn't leak. So pretty much I just reassembled, I changed the water pump, new hoses, a new battery. All the fuses were corroded, which is classic of an old car. So I had to take and clean every one of the, replace the fuses, clean every contact. The brake light switch was stuck, so I had to get underneath and change that. And what else? The headlight switch was stuck. Well, pretty much everything electrical was rusted. The wiper motor, I had to take apart and clean it and lube it. It actually worked. It was just, frozen shut. The blower motor, same thing. It wouldn't spin. So I took it apart, lubed it, cleaned it, and got that working. And so now everything in the car works, which is cool.
And what I like is how many of the old parts we were able to use.
Oh,
and
yeah,
you mentioned
so,
that.
Well, if you come here, is our storage of 95 and 96 Saab parts from cars we've taken apart. And pretty much everything except for the brake pads and the wheel cylinders and the kit for the front calipers, everything else I just got from our parts. So that's what's great, to have extra stuff.
She's a beaut.
And Dave, you want to show us how easy it is to start this now?
Oh, yeah. Well, and then the hardest thing actually in all of this was, I'll show you the hood. When we got the car, the hood had a broken piece. Go ahead, Darren.
Ready?
Yep. So right here, it didn't have, I got this off of another car, but this piece right here was broken. You can see that one's a different color. And there's this weird pin that holds it in place. And then I learned the hard way that to get the hood to go down, you have to loosen those nuts, like point to it right there. And then by sliding it in and out, and then I had to bend the hood. Anyway, the hardest thing was to get the hood to actually close like it was supposed to. And the first time I did it, it locked down and I had to reach my hand up through and try to unlock the hood. So that was fun. So the thing I'm most proud of is that the hood closes and opens and it looks relatively straight, because that took, and sorry I didn't video any of this, but I always worked on it like at 9 o'clock at night when it wasn't so hot, so it was in the dark. And I think I got done with the hood. When did I text you guys? Like 2 in the morning?
It was like,
It was early.
It was like 1:30 at night.
So,
He was so happy.
but yes, I whooped it.
Well, so what color is the original blue,
Hey,
Dave?
Oh, it's, I told you.
Hussein?
Hussein blue, yes.
Hussar?
Husan, it's Husan blue.
Hop in and show us how easy this starts now.
It took me forever to get the horn to work. Neutral. So there you go. And I stole the carb and the thermostat housing from the hot rod car since the motor's blown. And I haven't touched the carb and it runs great, so. Oh, and then I did put it on one of the little shorts, I think, is that the shift linkage was locked in place because everything had rusted. And I took a long metal bar and I beat on it till it got loose, and now everything shifts like it's supposed to. So I'm very grateful and totally surprised that this car, this is the second, so the Deluxe, that car there, we drug that out of the woods and with the minimal work, got it running, and I've been driving it ever since. And the same with Old Blue here. So Saabs, I think, at least the older ones, are kind of like the Jeeps I work on. With a little bit of love, they always run. And you can drive them with minimal effort. So.
As long as you're not afraid to light a flame under the thing.
Well, yeah, you gotta burn a few things, catch stuff on fire.
If it's not smoking, it's not coming off.
Yeah, I haven't even washed it yet since we got it. Darren did scrape all the sap off right here. I was gonna leave it because I thought it was cool and give it character. So I'm gonna give it a bath. I'm gonna probably just wipe it down with WD-40, and then I'm gonna lay some carpet in the back. I took the middle seat out, and I'm gonna use it to get parts like I did with the Deluxe.
Now the Deluxe is
drive it.
all
Now the
pretty.
Yeah, so. as you saw,
Somebody got
Darren,
it
for my
accidentally
birthday,
painted.
Sanded it down and painted it. And I don't know, I'm afraid to drive it. I might get greasy paw prints all over it or something, you know? But yeah, it looks really nice.
It is our
But-
flagship stuff now.
So remind me, guys, we paid $800 for 2 cars, right? So technically this was $400, and we paid $1,000 for Old Blue, right? Okay. And so if you are wanting a vintage Saab, you don't have to spend a lot of money. And you know, granted, we luck out, we have a lot of parts because we parted them out, but with a little bit of elbow grease and some good old American Yankee ingenuity, you can be driving a Saab like us. And it's a lot of fun. Darren was telling me that, you know, out of everything he drives, his 95 Wagon is the funnest. And I agree. I don't know why it's so much fun, but it is. And I get a big grin every time I drive one of these old cars. So they're cool.
And you get a lot of looks, as you all know, for driving clean ones. It's so much more attractive to people who are wondering what this turd is driving down the road. In this town, they look right over you because there's trucks everywhere. But, you know,
Well, we did
comment
get pulled-
there.
Chuck and I got pulled over driving the 95, and the guy was like, "What is it?" And I got to have it. And he did stop by, and I gave him a price, not to be mentioned, but we'll see if he's for real or not.
Blue.
For Old Blue. So,
All right. Well, thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Tell us what your story is running around in a wagon, people trying to flag you down. We'll love to hear it. Until next time, we'll see ya.